You are in the buying process and you're relocating to Orlando, Florida, and you're not really sure what to expect. Well, stick around because on this video, we're going to be talking about pretty much the top 5 things to think about to be realistic in the buying process in Orlando, Florida in 2022. And we're getting to it right now. My name is June Kranick, and on this channel, we do videos every single week of what it's actually like to live and to purchase in Orlando and Central Florida in general. So if that's the information that you want to need, well, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and click the bell below so that you're notified every time we do a new video. We have people reaching out to us every single week, and my team and myself, we are honored beyond belief. So if you're thinking about moving to Orlando or Central Florida in general, well then send us a text, give us a call, send us an email, however you wish to connect, because we got you covered when it comes to moving to Orlando and Central Florida. I felt passionate about putting this video together because I'm finding that, I know this, that the real estate market has not been this kind of frenzy in a very long time. And I think that it is really important if you are considering moving or you're going to move to have realistic expectations about the market and not think, hey, I think my realtor sucks. And that may be true. That may be that your realtor or whatever. I mean, I hope you're not talking about me. But anyway, there's some things that are going on in this market that have not been issues in the past. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to kind of convey those to you. The first is as you're deciding on an area. So there are some key areas in Orlando, Florida that everybody wants to live in. Lake Nona, people want to live in the Curry Ford area, East Orlando. People want to live in Dr. Phillips, Windermere, things like that. Well, when you're deciding on the criteria, because that's really what you have to think about, is what is your personal criteria? And what home is going to suit you, not just today, but 10 years from now. And then you have to, with everything, you may have to give a little to take a little, because no scenario is going to be 100%. Or, it can be close, but not 100%. And one of the things to think about is, are you going to work from home? Because if you work from home, you have opportunities that people that have to commute do not. When you work remotely, you can maybe be a farther out from, from the Mecca, which will save you tons of money and frustration when it comes to traffic. So these are things to really, really consider. Because as much as I love Lake Nona, I almost feel like doing so many videos on Lake Nona has slapped me in the face, because literally everybody wants Lake Nona. There's hardly any inventory. The houses are very close to each other. Some of them aren't as nice as they should be for the money they're asking, and on and on and on. And there's only so many people that can live in that area near schools that they really prefer. So really think about the criteria. And speaking of schools, if you are dead set, I want my children to go to a top-rated school, I've got a news flash for you. Florida school system is not the best. It just isn't. We are known for not being the best. So with that information in mind, yes, key areas have the best schools. And those key areas are what? Very expensive. So if it were me and I were sitting in your physical shoes, I would put my kids in private school. Bottom line, private school will end that issue and give you an opportunity to live where you want to live in a place that makes sense and your children still get a great education. Because so many of my clients now are like, I want to live right here because I want them to go to that school, and so does everybody else. And I feel partly, I talk about it a lot, so I'm going to stop that. But anyway, Put your kids in, now if you have 5 kids, maybe not. But private schools or charter schools are not as expensive as you might think. So what you're not spending, $100,000, $200,000 in the purchase of a home, put in your kids' education. That's just my tip for you there. Number 2, get pre-approved. Not pre-qualified, pre-approved. When it comes down to multiple offer situations, which today I went to a networking event for realtors, and there was a lady who shared that she had 135 offers on one property. That's a little absurd. I have not seen that. The most I've ever heard was 50, but 50 offers? So when you're in this process, you've got to have your ducks in a row. Pre-qualification is different than pre-approval. Pre-qualified says that you are creditworthy of a mortgage. A pre-approval says you're ready to go. So really get that documentation. And quite honestly, I say this with all love in my heart. I have clients that'll ask me to show them homes, and I've done it. And I've done it in the past, and I think that now I'm just gonna have the guts to say, there's no sense going to see the property, because if you love it and it takes, a week to get pre-approved, the house will be gone. So you're wasting your time, your precious, valuable time, if you don't have the proper documentation to purchase a home. So just keep that in mind. You want to get pre-approved, and you want to do that before you go see one house, because it'd be just your luck to find the perfect house in the perfect location, and you love the sellers, you get along, you know each other from another life, who knows, and you don't have the proper documentation. If you're getting any value out of this video, do me a favor and hit that like button and comment below and tell me, what are some of the things that you've learned in the real estate market that you didn't know? Maybe an expectation that you weren't aware of. So let's talk about another expectation. This is a biggie. In this environment, you must decide, what am I willing to come out of pocket over asking in order to win the offer? I have not seen any homes sold at asking in the last, maybe 9 months. Even if it's just $10,000, I know that sounds crazy. I'd like an extra $10,000. I've seen people come $50,000 out of pocket to win the bid on a $500,000 home. So you have to think about it. Like, I am willing to go $25,000 over asking and nothing more. You also want to consider no appraisal contingency, not based upon what it appraises, and no appraisal gap. Now, if your realtor has done a proper CMA and knows what the comparables look like in the neighborhood and asks for that information, then you won't get caught with your pants down on this. Because typically, if you see a property and everything in the neighborhood is appraising at $500,000 and you go to $525,000 with no appraisal gap, you're probably gonna be right in that area. If the appraisal comes in a little low, then you have to factor that in. What am I willing to come out of pocket? So just keep these things in mind. And there's other ways to be creative when it comes to winning the offer. Like, if somebody's selling their home and their new home is not ready and built yet, well, then you could do a lease buyback. You could let them stay for the first 60 days for free or 30 days for free. I'm just trying to come up with other solutions besides just cash money. So these are the things you got to think about in order to be competitive in this market. Number 4 is going to see properties. Now, I have clients that come in from out of town. They fly in from out of town, and I do everything I can to be available in that 3-day, 4-day, 5-day window. There are things that come up in our lives, maybe an appointment that can't be avoided, a closing, another client, because most of us that are decent at all have multiple clients. Be realistic about the time frame that you want to go see a house. Like, to call and say, can you go see this house right now? Most of the time it requires a 24-hour notice. But the other thing is you might want to map out several properties so it makes sense. I mean, gas is $4.30 a gallon for you, for me, for whomever. And make sure that these are properties that are in the area that you want and it's not just window shopping. Now, the other thing that I want to point out is that when properties first hit the market, that's the highest competition you're going to come across, because everybody else is getting emails from Zillow, from Redfin, from Open Door, from whatever. And everybody is going to see that property. So the things to think about is, why don't I look at a property that's been on the market a little longer? Now, the first thing you think is, what's wrong with the property? Sometimes, absolutely nothing. Maybe at the time that they put that listing up, the price was too high, but 60 days has gone by and now the price makes sense. So sometimes, even myself, I'm guilty. I look at a property, I go, oh, what's wrong with it? If it's been too long. And also when it's getting close to expiring, it's a good opportunity. The other thing to think about is, which is more important, to get a house that you have to fix a few things or have to rent and keep waiting to get a house, and the rates continue to go up and the prices continue to go up. So I like a house completely done. I do too. But in this market, I might look at other opportunities in order to get my home secured. Because when you buy a house and say, oh my gosh, I absolutely hate this flooring, you can get the flooring done before you move in. And then you can get the flooring you absolutely love. Like my flooring, I don't love it. It's tile. I know the flooring that I wish I could have gotten, but it was about a $27,000 upgrade when I first bought, and it wasn't worth it to me to spend that much money. I would have been better off to contract someone to come in, half the price, and get that done, and I would have the floor that I love. So these are the things to really think about, because most people say, I don't want to have to fix one thing. I want everything complete. And whenever you see a home that's 30 years old, that's updated, you're paying the price of that. It's built into the cost. So some of these are some of the things you really have to think about when it comes to purchasing in 2022 in Orlando, Florida. Please hold. Maybe we can barter. You can train my dogs. I'm just kidding. These are things that are really some of the glaring things that we see over and over. And last tip I'm gonna say to you is, don't fall in love with a property, because that's when you get your little heart broken. I always tell people, think you're gonna put in 10 offers to win one. Now, that is way blown out of proportion. However, if I set that realistic expectation up front, you're gonna put in 10 offers to win one. If we put in 5 offers and we win, well, then they're pleasantly happy. It makes sense to me. So today we were talking about some expectations of what to really expect in this crazy market in Orlando, Florida in April of 2022. But if that's not what you're really looking for, it's not your, what you need to learn about, well, you have to let us know. You have to reach out, you have to let us know exactly what it is that you're looking for so we can get those videos out to you right away. So remember, if you are thinking about moving to Orlando or Central Florida in general, well then send us a text, give us a call, send us an email, however you wish to connect, because we got you covered when it comes to moving to Orlando and Central Florida. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.